have no choice but to send them. What I think is that we're going to end up with a great deal. I think they have no choice. And I think we're in a very strong negotiating position to do what other presidents should have done during a 47-year period.
A White House official is telling Fox News Vice President J.D. Vance will be attending a meeting at the White House today, while Islamabad, Pakistan is bracing for U.S. delegation's arrival for the latest round of peace talks with Iran. We're still waiting to learn whether Iran will actually show up. The original two-week ceasefire is set to expire tomorrow evening, Iran time, and President Trump says he does not want to extend it without a deal. Meanwhile, one Democrat lawmaker is coming under fire for his comments on the situation in Iran. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy replied "awesome" to an ex-post that said at least 26 Iranian shadow fleet vessels have been able to bypass the U.S. blockade. He since has said that was sarcasm. And here's what he told Fox.
Twitter's become kind of a cesspool. I probably should give up on sarcasm on Twitter. Obviously, anybody that's seen anything that I have said about Trump's war knows that I think it's bungled, mismanaged, and he should end it as quickly as possible. But sarcasm is not something, I guess, that's allowed on Twitter any longer.
Do you regret the post? Are you planning on taking it down, or are you going to keep it up?
I mean, I guess I just have to be more careful about sarcasm on Twitter.
Who believes it was sarcasm? Show of hands.
I actually will give him that, because I think he was saying, like, oh, awesome. Suggesting, like, the conflict is not going well. That's the context I read it in. Not complimentary to the White House, but kind of pointing out that he thinks it's not going well. Not awesome, like the Iranians are getting around us.
Well, it was all caps,
that's how I took it.
So that's a yell. That's an awesome. It's all caps.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he also doesn't know it's not Twitter anymore. I don't know. Maybe his use of social media is weak. But I hear your point.
May I say this, that I believe that he meant it sarcastically, but when he talks about the noise in this measure of disdain, he's the one contributing it to it. He's the one that just recently said that our democracy is being destroyed by our president. He said we have to learn ways to fight back so that we can, take over from the Republicans. How about just earning votes instead of buying them? So I feel like this measure of the instant someone doesn't get the sarcasm or the intention behind an X or tweet, whatever, then, like, he sort of is, oh, you're not smart enough to get it. Isn't this just all crap? It's like, well, you've been contributing to it this entire time. You are one of the ones that perpetuates the snarky, soundbite, dopamine-chasing clickbait instead of saying, here's what I want to talk about today and here's some policy without degrading the president on foreign soil. But I think that's a little bit too much that I'm hoping for today.
Yeah, I like your optimism about Democrat policy on this, though. To Shannon's point, people will take it different ways, depending on probably their prism of politics, I would imagine. Yeah. Anna Kelly responds on X this way. Why is a Democrat senator pushing false Iranian propaganda and rooting against the United States military? Disgusting. Anti-American behavior from a sitting member of Congress. Your take.
Well, remember, this is the same guy who met secretly with the Iranian regime, as reported by Fox's own Molly Hemingway just a couple of years ago. And this is a guy who is cavorting with radicals like Hassan Piker, a guy who said that America deserved 9/11. I don't think he's being sarcastic when he says our party needs to be more like people like Hassan Piker. So I'm telling you that this guy is the worst of the worst, and you need to pay attention to him, though, because he is likely the next Democrat leader in the United States Senate.
Cavorting is such a strong word against him, but accurate.
Yeah.
Kaylee.
I don't believe it was sarcasm. Sorry, I don't believe that. It was lowercase. I just want to note. So it was just like awesome. Sent at 5:49 p.m. I was looking at the timestamp. But I don't believe it was sarcasm, given what you said. Not only is he allegedly having met with the Iranian foreign minister, Molly Hemingway's reporting, I was just reading that. In addition to that, he was widely reported to be someone who pushed the Biden administration to delist the IRGC as a foreign terrorist organization. So this is someone who, for whatever reason, has felt cozy with Iran. I'm going to go that far and say that. And when you look at what Iran has done, they are responsible for about 1,000 deaths of Americans, more than that. U.S. service members alone in Iran, the roadside bombs, Soleimani, and what they did to our troops. Even sarcasm. Even if that's what this was, you don't engage in sarcasm when we are in the middle of a war. You root for America. You leave no room for any misinterpretation. I don't believe it was sarcasm. Can't get in his heart and in his mind. I hope I'm wrong, but sorry, not giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
here.
I was wrong. Apologies. It is lowercase.
It's lowercase, but it's just as bad.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.